Welcome to the MMT studio. I'm Christina Fugis with MoldMaking Technology, and today I am here with two gentlemen from Wisconsin Engraving, John Carlson with Stales and the president, Pete Kambouris. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, how are you?
All right, so let's get into this. So I know that you guys look at the company as a resource for mold makers and for mold builders in terms of using your services to remove bottlenecks. So let's get into that, but let's talk about the people behind Wisconsin Engraving. Who makes up your team?
Because at Wisconsin Engraving, we're not just engravers. So we're a texture house, We're an engraving house. But we also do a lot of CNC work.
Okay.
We do overflow work for some of the mold
Okay,
makers.
I did not know that, okay.
Very limited. 10 years ago, we were doing a ton of overflow work, but with the economy up, down, whatever, everyone's trying to keep everything captive. Why outsource it when you can just figure it out?
Yep.
And in that CNC department, and we were cutting electrodes for our customers. So we're doing a lot of work, not building molds, not a lot of mold work, but overflow work for our customers, components, graphite, etc. A few years ago, the laser technology started.
Here we go. Here's when we get to the good stuff.
This is the segue.
Yep.
So the laser technology became more prevalent in the industry, and we sat down, had a meeting, and said, hey, you know what? We're not the biggest guys in the industry, but we're not the smallest. We got to get in on this, And it was a rough start because the price point to get in was a few $100,000. And once you get one machine, then you got to get another machine.
So how many machines do you have now?
Right now we have two.
Okay.
We're looking at two more, but our biggest issue right now is floor space.
Okay.
So.
So there's an expansion coming.
Yes, as soon as the market settles down and real estate and interest rates change and whatever. And
So let's talk about the laser, the technology. So what is the system? What's the technology? Let's get into that.
So the lasers that we have on the floor, I actually sold to us, as strange as that sounds.
Okay.
So I came from the OEM.
Okay.
So they are GF Machining Solutions
Know
machines,
them well, yep.
or Agi Charmy, whatever you know them as. The technology, in my opinion, and Pete has to always rein me in, because I enjoy it. It's interesting to me, and you're literally removing material or metal with a beam of light. I mean, how cool is that? Exactly. How cool is that?
Yes.
It's cool. It's one of those things too. When you're watching the machines actually doing the work, you can. All of a sudden, it's 10 minutes later. You're like, oh my God, what just happened? Why am I now standing here, and staring at the machine? And it happens. But the machines are fully 5-axis. So the stuff I always talk to customers about when we're introducing it to them for the first time. Customers that we've had for 20, 30, 40, 50 years that are just learning that we have the laser. What do you mean you got laser? What does that mean? What can you do? And the conversation is always, well, there's 3 or 4 really limiting factors that happen with the laser. One is the line of sight. Can we actually get the laser to where it needs to go? If you have an undercut in your mold, we can't get to it. The other question is, why do you want to undercut your mold? But that's a whole different story. The other one is, how deep do you want that texture? At a certain point, it becomes more economical to just go to the traditional chemical etching. But what the laser offers us, and the third limiting factor, and this is the one that customers always have the hardest time with, is how creative are you? Flat out, how creative are you is always the one that catches people off guard, because they're like, what do you mean? Again, if we have line of sight and we have time, we could basically do it with the laser. Our spot sizes that we're working with on the laser are 1, 2, or 3 thou spot sizes. And the question I always say back to customers, if you design features and textures smaller than 1 thou, the question is why? If you're designing something that small, you're not going to see it anyway, so why are you designing it so small?
Why? Okay.
So that's always a good one. But
it's always been our job to go back and forth with the customer.
I was going to say, that sounds like a lot of consultation there.
Because keep in mind, you're dealing with some project engineers that are relatively new in the industry, and what looks great on paper and what looks great in their mind, all of a sudden, you can't build a tool around it. You can't make a part around it.
Is it manufacturable?
Yeah. The other thing we'll do, just kind of on top of that, is as we have these conversations with customers, we have all these additional capabilities in the shop. And again, my focus is laser, because that's where I came from. That's my background. And it's always those conversations on, do you really need this artwork? Does it need to be this detailed? Or do you want, how complicated and creative do you want to get, to the point where we've gotten in the last year and a half now, we are actually able to watermark our textures.
Last but not least, you know that we're celebrating our 25 years,
Yes,
right?
congratulations.
Which is a big deal, thank you. So I want to ask each of you, what is exciting you about mold making for the next 25 years? Like what excites you? What do you see coming?
Well, honestly, I'm excited that we see more work staying here. You know,
Well, not just staying here, but coming back.
well,
Yeah.
coming back. Yes,
Yeah,
I should
all
say
the
that. I mean,
reshoring.
yes, I think people have finally realized that yes, there's a time and place for offshoring and doing things, but then there's also, hey, let's just do it here because we have more control. We can deal with our vendors. We know the steel types. You know, so that's nice, and that's a nice long-term and short-term view. But for the next 25 years, I mean, we see, you know, the different groups like SPE and mold making, American Mold Builders and everything. I think we're seeing a resurgence with students coming back in. So I think that's exciting to start seeing that schools are kind of pushing it,
Yep.
and the groups are, you know, because it's never too late. Yes, you can say, why didn't we do it 10 years ago? But it's moving forward.
Yep.
Better now than never.
Better now than ever.
Always.
And we're always seeing new, unique things. And with the advent of 3D printing and the laser technology and what other new systems are out there? I mean, it's just
I mean, just 3D printing alone. I mean,
Yeah.
how that's opening up to so many kids in schools. You know, they don't need to have a CNC on the floor. They can have a little desktop 3D printer, and now you've got these kids learning how to design parts out of nothing, and can do the CAD work and learn how to do that at junior high. And then when they go to high school or college, a lot of that CAD work is applicable to actually cutting metal. So teaching them and getting them kind of like
So
that
a cool
spark.
new technology
Correct.
is really like lighting that next generation up.
100%.
Yes.
3D printing as an example, right?
Yes.
Minus, I mean, not including all the simulation software. I mean, I think the industry is just riddled with
Yes.
cool tech.
Yep.
If you really think about it, it's just exposing them to that and not just the manual way things always used to be
Correct.
done.
correct.
So,
And we see our mold making customers, just the machines they're buying and the way they're applying 3D printing to make different components.
Oh,
for this.
yeah.
I mean, just the stuff that's coming in, and you're like,
wow,
Wow.
that is interesting. You do get to see a lot of that
yes,
work coming on the other side of it.
yes.
So you are seeing an increase in people like conformal cold inserts, for example,
Yes.
right? Okay, that's good to
Yeah.
know.
You know
Are
what?
you encountering any issues that you're seeing with the ones that are coming to you?
Not yet. I mean, some of our very close customers will call us and say, hey, we're looking at 3D printing this component. Can I send you a sample so you guys can acid etch it so we can see how it's going to compare to our standard tool steel?
Okay.
You know, so
Interesting.
we're working with them to make sure that our tool maker customer can go back to their customer and advise them of the pros and cons of what they're going to do.
Got it.
You know, like in the blow molding industry, you're etching an aluminum mold, but it's got stainless steel pinch-offs or
Yep.
beryllium copper pinch-offs. Well, there's going to be a texture difference, you know? And then you don't want somebody in QC always going, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're working with everybody to
Figure it out.
figure it
really?
out.
I love it.
You know, and that's what we're trying to do. And I mean, we're excited for the next 25 years because, you know, we see what our toolmaker customers are doing, what the OEMs are pushing the toolmakers
Yeah.
to do, which then in turn
Is
trickles
what
down to
create-
us.
yeah.
And whether we want to advance or not,
We have a choice.
you have no choice.
There you go. Hence, that's why you got the laser technology, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Well, thank you very much, Christina. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you so
John.
much. Appreciate it.
All right. And for everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com.